It's approximately 2:17 p.m. The camera's rolling. We're back on the record.
Okay. Mr. Koepnick, you had an opportunity to have lunch?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, ready to go?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're still under oath and obligated to tell the truth under penalty of perjury, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I want to go back to a video clip that we thought we had the wrong timestamp written down. We actually had the correct one. We're going to play from the September 20th, 2023 video, clip 28 minutes, 28 seconds through 55 seconds. And we played this for you earlier. We're going to play it for you again. I want you to listen for the words knockoff.
Shout out to his tank, by the way. Over 2,010 pages the last time I saw, documenting the rise and fall of a young Robert Vala and his knockoff military toy line. Like, if you ever need some quality reading, hop on over to his tank and read the Valaverse thread, because it is phenomenal. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. Now, here, again, you were referring to Mr. Vala and Valaverse's product as a, quote, knockoff, unquote, correct?
A knockoff military toy line.
And the answer is yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. So your response to request for admission number 9 on that in Exhibit 1, truthful and accurate, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to turn your attention now to the October 4th, 2023 video that you posted on YouTube. First of all, you did post that video, right?
Well, I guess we'll see it in a second, but I presume so.
Okay. And I want to first understand your thought process before you posted this video. That first video about Bobby Vala and Valaverse, dated September 20th, 2023, that wasn't enough for you at that point, right?
How do you mean?
Meaning you wanted to make another video and post it about Robert Vala and Valaverse, right?
I would say that's an unfair characterization.
What's unfair about it?
I don't think that, I mean, you can watch the video and I explain why I make the video. It wasn't about necessarily wanting to make another video about Bobby Vala. It was about wanting to respond to the fallout from the first video.
You felt the need to make another video about Bobby Vala and Valaverse before posting the October 4th, 2023 video, right?
I guess at the surface level, yes, I felt the need to make a video about him.
You felt the desire to make another video, right?
I felt a responsibility to make another video.
Okay. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to ask you to draw on your recollection. You referred to Mr. Vala as a terrorist, correct?
Terrorist, for lack of a better term, yes.
Okay.
Those are the quote.
And you also claimed in that video of October 4th, 2023, that you'd been in a physical altercation with him, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we're going to play those sections now, just to confirm that we play those for you on the record. You let me know if any of your answers change, okay? We're going to start with the terrorist quote. This is at 154.
demands by terrorists, for lack of a better term.
Okay. And that was the terrorist one. Now we're going to play you from 8:18 through 8:45 your claim that you'd been in a physical altercation with Bobby Vala. Let's play that.
Be better, and maybe wonder why he's so against me being at Joe Fest. Even though he's had a physical altercation with me, but I've never done anything physically to him. Again, sticks and stones, man.
Okay, let's stop. You claimed that Bobby Vala had been in a physical altercation with you. Those were your words, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, once again, you'd agree these were pretty serious allegations for a toy review channel to be making, yes?
No.
Do you routinely refer to people as terrorists? Yes or no?
What do you mean by routinely?
No. Can you point to instances in the past where you have posted videos accusing people of being terrorists?
I cannot.
And are you in the habit of accusing people of having physical altercations with you?
What do you mean by habit?
Well, let's narrow it down to, have you done that in any other videos you've posted?
I've not done it in other videos I've posted, no. That I know of.
Or otherwise published any writings accusing someone of having a physical altercation with you?
I can't say for sure. I don't recollect everything I've posted before.
Fair to say that these were unusual allegations then for you on behalf of a toy review channel to be making against somebody?
What do you mean by unusual?
Well, we've just established that you can't think of another time you've done it, right? So they would be unusual, correct?
You know, in the I guess the 10 to 15 videos I've posted, or I had posted, I guess you could classify that as unusual, but I would argue that there's not enough of a pattern to say usual or unusual. It was the only time that I had gotten into long-form storytelling, so.
As you sit here today, you cannot point us to any other written publications of any kind, videos, writings, in which you've accused anybody of being a terrorist or have accused them of being in a physical altercation with you, correct?
Not offhand, but again, I'm not encyclopedic in my memory.
So based on your inability to recall and tell us about any such instance, excuse me, you would agree that these were unusual allegations for you to be making, correct?
I would never describe them as unusual.
Would you describe them as usual?
No, sir.
Would you describe them as a routine?
No, sir.
Would you describe them as your habit?
No, sir.
Would you describe them as a regular thing for you?
What do you mean by regular thing?
Well, just something you would ordinarily do.
I mean, if I had been in instances when I was publicly discussing having been physically, in a similar situation, I might have referred to it that way. I can't say for sure.
But you can't point to any such instances, right?
Correct.
Now, for this video of October 4th, 2023 that you posted on YouTube, and you did post this on YouTube, right?
Yes, sir.
And you posted the other video we talked about from September 20th on YouTube also, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, For this video exhibit, which for the record is Exhibit 45, did you plan ahead of time what you wanted to say?
No.
Did you prepare any notes that you were working off of?
No, sir.
All right, I'm going to turn your attention now to... Actually, I'm going to go back to a topic we talked about a little bit earlier when you discussed your discussions with your prior counsel regarding the request for admissions. And I'm treading carefully here, sir, because as Mr. Muncy, your counsel, may know, there are certain legal or ethical restrictions we as lawyers have about discussing bar complaints that haven't been made public yet. But you claimed and volunteered that you had filed a bar complaint against your prior counsel. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to really avoid trying to discuss the substance of that, but I'm going to ask you some questions surrounding the topic. Okay? You follow me so far?
So far?
Okay. Approximately when was that?
Maybe March or April 25?
This year?
Yes.
Okay. And did you do that on your own or with the assistance of counsel?
How do you mean?
Meaning, did you have the assistance of counsel in preparing the complaint or grievance that you prepared, or did you just do that on your own?
I prepared the grievance myself.
Okay. And then, I'm not asking you to discuss the substance of it, okay? Where did you submit that? To the Supreme Court of Ohio's website or to a grievance committee of the Montgomery County Bar Association?
I believe it was the...
Dayton Bar
I think it was the Dayton Bar Association.
Okay. Are you able to... I'm again not asking you for the substance. Are you able to tell us, yes or no, whether any action has been taken one way or the other on that grievance?
No.
Okay. You're not able to tell us?
Correct.
Okay. Meaning you have not been notified about any action?
Correct.
Okay. Was it at least acknowledged?
Yes, sir.
And you haven't even received correspondence saying, we've sent this to the respondent for response, correct?
I can't say for sure.
You just don't remember?
Correct.
Okay. At the end of your representation with your prior counsel, did you still owe your prior counsel attorney fees?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. So to the best of your knowledge right now, you don't still owe your prior counsel attorney fees?
To the best of my knowledge.
That are in dispute or otherwise?
To the best of my knowledge.
Okay. So as far as you're aware, you have no outstanding invoices?
As far as I know.
Okay. Now, let's turn to your background and relationship with Bobby Vala, one of the plaintiffs in this case. You have a history going back some time with Mr. Vala, right?
Relatively speaking.
Okay. And when did you first meet him, to the best of your recollection?
I believe the first time I met him was at... might have been June of 2020. It might have been 2021. As far as I can recall, we had a short interaction
Where?
at Joe Fest in my cousin's booth.
Explain briefly for the record what Joe Fest is. Joefest, one word, right?
Yep. Yes, sir. Joe Fest is an independently owned toy show that caters primarily to G.I. Joe collectors, but it's also co-programmed as the Augusta Toy and Comic Show. So it's a gathering in a hotel, I guess, convention center with toy vendors and comic vendors and cosplayers and hobbyists.
Typically takes place in Atlanta,
Augusta, Georgia.
Augusta, Georgia. Been working on this case for a while, and I finally get what Joe Fest means. G.I. Joe. It's amazing that I just stumbled upon that. Never thought to ask. I thought there was just a guy named Joe who started the festival. So
It's incredible.
all right. Goes to show you, it pays to ask. So, what did you think of Mr. Vala when you first met him?
When I first met him or after our interaction?
Well, I'm
I guess.
not really sure I understand the difference because, oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, was it
I'm saying after your first interaction.
after our first interaction? I thought that he was quieter than I expected and a little abrupt.
So you'd heard of him before meeting him.
Yes, sir.
You knew who he was.
Yes.
Right. Founder and CEO of Valaverse, right?
At the time I met him, that's how I knew him, yes.
And you'd heard of Valaverse before that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you said quiet and a little bit abrupt. I'm not sure I'm able to reconcile those two things. So could you please explain further?
Oh, sure. We just had a minor interaction where I complimented the cleverness of a phrasing that he had used for a product. And it was, I had heard from mutual acquaintances that he was chattier and like a little bit more, I don't know, I just heard of a different person than I met. It was a very brief interaction. And then, he kind of, I don't remember exactly what happened, but he acknowledged it. And then that was sort of the end of the interaction.
Oh, that's what you mean by abrupt. You mean it just the conversation ended a little faster than you anticipated. Not that he was somehow rude to you or anything.
No, I didn't mean rude. I just meant like,
Okay.
it was just a, it was just a
It
very,
abruptly ended the conversation.
yeah, it was just a quick, like,
Got it.
kind of thing, at least to my recollection.
Okay. Now, in the video you posted on September 20th, 2023, which is Exhibit 2 to this deposition, let me play you 10 seconds in. Let's play that whole piece.
No toys. I'm gonna try out a new segment on the channel called Talking Shit.
Okay. So, you recall, and we've played it for you, you talked about how you're going to try a new segment on the channel you call Talking Shit, quote unquote. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your intention, given the label that you put on it, was to talk shit about Mr. Vala, right?
No, sir.
Well, the video's about Valaverse and Mr. Vala, right?
To some degree.
To a very large degree, right? And so 10 seconds into your video, you announced that the segment was going to be called Talking Shit, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so you were announcing that you were going to be talking shit about Mr. Vala and Valaverse, correct?
That's not what I said.
Well, but that's what you were effectively doing, considering that's what this video was largely about, right?
If that's your interpretation, but that
I'm
was not
asking
my
you.
intent. No.
By that point, by the time you were making this video, you didn't like Mr. Vala, correct?
I would say that's an unfair assessment. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You said I didn't like him.
Yeah.
That's what you, okay, yes, sorry. I misunderstood.
You agree?
Yes,
Okay.
sorry.
Now, do you recall a video you made in November 2022 titled Toy Hack about how to loosen stiff joints in Valaverse action figures?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall what you did with a Valaverse action figure in that video?
Yes, sir.
You threw it into the fire.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, this is Exhibit 3. We're going to play 2 minutes and 58 seconds in. And that's you throwing a Valaverse action figure into a fire, right?
Yes, a figure that I purchased.
Okay. Now, in your experience as a toy collector for over 30 years and running the toy department for 10 and going to all these conventions and being in this community of collectors, is that the kind of thing that toy reviewers usually do? Yes or no?
I can't answer because your question has some inaccuracies in it.
So you haven't been a collector for over 30 years?
I have been.
You haven't, I know you weren't fully running operations for 10 years, but you've been working in the toy department for 10 years, right?
No, sir.
Okay. How long?
I believe we opened in 2018.
Okay. So for at least that period of time, you've been with toy department, right?
Yes, sir.
You've also been selling figures at conventions, right?
Yes, sir.
And you've been active in the toy collecting community for many years, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I'm really just asking you, based on all of those different experiences and exposures, you probably watched a lot of toy reviews, right?
Actually, no, sir.
Never seen any?
I didn't say that. I don't consume a lot of video content.
Okay. You've read toy reviews?
Not really. I mean, a handful, yes, but not as like a hobby.
Okay. And when I say toy reviews, I'm not just talking about people who do that for a living or a hobby, but I'm just talking about people commenting in the online fora for toy collectors about their review of toys. You've read a lot of those, right? This is good, this is not good.
Oh, I've seen a myriad of that over the years, sure.
People commenting, right?
Sure.
Have you ever seen anybody throw a toy into a fire when giving a review? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay. So, to the best of your knowledge, you're the only person you've ever known to do that, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, what was the let me withdraw that. What did you expect, or one, your viewers of that review to think about seeing you do that?
I wanted them to laugh.
Fair to say, though, that was a way for you to communicate in a visual way extreme dislike for a toy. Fair?
No, sir.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yes, sir.
Burning something, whether it's a draft card in the 60s or, you know, the people who in protest burned the American flag. I mean, that can be a way of expressing extreme negative feelings about something. Fair?
It can be, yes.
Generally speaking, people don't, you know, unless it's wood in the fireplace, they don't generally like burn something that they like, right?
Generally speaking.
Okay. Would you agree that throwing an action force figure into a fire during that review is a kind of extreme way of expressing dislike for something?
It could be an extreme way for expressing dislike if that's what someone was trying to do. So in your hypothetical situation, yes.
So what is exactly, I know it's hard to explain humor. Certainly that's how my kids feel about my dad jokes. But tell me, in your own words, what exactly you thought was funny about throwing Mr. Vala's product into a fire?
Well, first off, it was my property. But beyond that,
The product that he created.
sure, fair enough, that I purchased and can do what I want with. So I guess for some important context, sometimes toys come with quality issues where sometimes they don't function super great out of the box. And sometimes companies have to encourage their customers to warm the figures up before playing with them, or they risk breaking them. And it's been described as a Bush League tactic to have to do that. But the point of throwing the figure in the fire was to make a joke about warming up the joints to make them work properly.
So that's what you thought was funny about it.
Yes.
Did you say anything that, to the best of your recollection now, did you say anything in the video explaining that this was your way of warming it up as instructed?
Am I allowed to ask the court reporter to repeat the title of the video that you spoke earlier?
Our understanding is the word toy hack was in the video, right?
Well, I think there's a title in there, like a full title for the video. What's the name of the full? I don't know if I'm allowed to ask questions, but
Look, we're not, I understand you're making a point out of that. If you want to make your point, go ahead.
I mean, you asked me if at any point in the video I mentioned that, and I'm just asking you if the title for the video is there. I don't remember exactly what it said.
Yeah, I don't have that information in front of me right now. I'm asking you if in the video content
You read it.
recall doing it.
You read the name of the video.
Toy hack video is my understanding. Toy hack.
You read.
That was the title, Toy Hack.
I'm pretty sure there was a subtitle that you read. I could
Okay.
be wrong.
I did not.
That's why I didn't know if I was allowed to ask.
No, I did not read it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So again, let's go back to my question.
Sure.
My question is, do you recall if in the content of the video, your words, you explained that this was your way of warming up the joints?
I believe that the parody was mentioned to some degree, yes.
Let's look at a screenshot from November of 2022, that video. This is Exhibit 39. It's just a screenshot from the same video. And this is from before you threw Mr. Vala's designed and produced product into a fire.
Yes, sir.
That's a portrait of Mr. Vala hanging on your wall, isn't it?
No, sir.
Hmm?
No, sir.
That's not a portrait of Mr. Vala behind you?
Oh, there's one behind me, but it's not
Right.
hanging on a wall.
Okay, fair enough. It's hanging behind you though, right?
No, sir. It's standing on top of a display case.
Okay, but it's
And
behind
it's
you,
a
right?
meme, not a portrait.
It's behind you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You don't find that to be a really odd thing to do?
Well, it was a gift, and it's displayed in my collection.
Now could you answer my question?
Oh, no, I don't think it is odd.
You don't find it strange to have a portrait or a meme of the person behind you when you dislike the person?
No, sir.
What's meme-ish about it?
There was a popular meme format in the time that that was created where it applied this like painted cartoonish thing to an image and then words would get put over it. And somebody created that and then put a quote of his around it and then made it as a meme and then sent it to me as a gag gift.
And that's what's framed and behind you?
It's on a canvas. It's not framed.
Okay. And then, what does the quote say?
I can't say for sure, but I know that it's a segment of his aforementioned Facebook post surrounding the Mattel Sergeant Slaughter figure where he says something about keep poking the bear douche. One day you'll be face to face with that bear and nothing will save you. And I think it might have the bit in there about action force is mine and it's real and it'll destroy everything you do. I would have to look in the submissions for the full quote, but
Now, you were part of a Facebook group dedicated to discussing Mr. Vala, right?
I've been in a couple, yes.
Okay. One of them was called Legions of Kennyverse, Kennyverse, all one word.
I was in that group. I don't agree that it was, the intention of it was to talk about Mr. Vala.
Well, Kennyverse is a play on Valaverse, right?
It is a parody of Valaverse, yes.
And any other groups dedicated to discussing Mr. Vala?
I was, for a period of time, in the Legions of Valaverse Facebook group.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
Oh, Legions of Valaverse, and then Legions of Kennyverse was the parody of it. And then there might have been another group or two that I was a member of in the earlier days of his toy line, but I don't recall the names. There was a handful of them popping up at the time. I think there was one, well, there's definitely a third one, but I couldn't find the name of it. I've been trying to find it for a while.
You might not still be a member.
It got deleted, as you mentioned it in your summary judgment.
Okay. You deleted it?
No, sir. The owner of the group deleted it.
Okay. So the Legions of Kennyverse is named after you, right? You're the Kenny?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am the Kenny referenced there.
Did you make that group?
No, sir.
Now, safe to say, if it's named after you, you're the face of that group, right?
No, sir.
I'm going to hand you Exhibit 5. It's a message between you and Justin Karavulius talking about the Legions of Kennyverse group. This piece of correspondence is dated June 27th, 2022. We're getting that to you now
Sure.
and to your counsel.
Blue tab. Or green tab.
Give him his copy too. And if you take a look at the blue tab, the content of the blue tab, could you please read aloud Justin's message to you at 3:11 p.m. that day?
The blue tab, you
So
said?
green tab.
I'm sorry, the
Green
green tab.
Got it. 3:11. Oh, sorry. Figuring out how tabs work. Justin says, the group is pretty brutal, but it's private, so there is no possible legal claims if someone leaks something. Can you imagine if Bobby saw all of the things written in the group but had to keep quiet?
Okay. Now, what was your response?
I said, that's totally fair. Ha ha ha.
So you found it funny that the group was, quote unquote, pretty brutal, unquote?
No, sir.
So what's funny? Could you please explain the joke on perceiving that with a ha ha ha?
I was laughing at the, can you imagine if Bobby saw all the things written in the group but had to keep quiet?
And what is it about that you found funny?
He has a hard time keeping quiet, and he would be pretty annoyed and irritated based off previous reactions to people saying things he doesn't like.
Now, you found it funny that there supposedly were, quote, no possible legal claims, unquote, anyone could bring against you. Is that right?
No, sir. He asked me a question, and I answered, that's totally fair. Ha ha ha.
Right, but again, I'm trying to fully flesh out the ha 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 part
Yes, sir.
and trying to understand, did you also find it funny that there supposedly were, quote, no possible legal claims, unquote, anyone could bring against you?
No, sir.
But you did find it funny imagining Mr. Vala reading the posts in that group, right? I think that's what you just said.
I found the question to be humorous. I didn't do the imagining myself.
Okay. In general, if I understand your testimony and the context now you've given for that exchange, you like the idea of causing Mr. Vala emotional distress, right?
I wouldn't put it that way. Emotional distress is a very broad term.
Well, let me try it this way. In general, as reflected in that exchange, you like the idea of causing Mr. Vala distress, correct?
I wouldn't say so.
Consternation,
I wouldn't say so.
frustration,
I would agree with that.
anger,
Probably not.
aggravation,
Sure.
irritation.
It's hard to say.
I'm not sure this is a word, but upsettedness.
I would say probably not.
You're probably just upset, causing him upset. Isn't it true that in that group, Legions of Kennyverse, that people were talking shit, quote unquote, about Vala? To use your phrase.
I can't attest to their intent.
Well, I'm just saying, based on your observation, posts in that group were, to use your phrase, quote unquote, talking shit about Mr. Vala.
again, this goes back to our earlier disagreement about the definition of talking shit. So, given your definition of it, I would say yes, but I don't necessarily agree with you connecting my meaning of that word to your inference of that Facebook group.
Now, isn't it true that people in that Facebook group, Legions of Kennyverse, that people shared posts about Mr. Vala's family?
That I can't say for sure. I'm not sure.
Would you have found that funny?
No, and that's referenced in other information turned over in discovery.
Okay, so I'm going to arrange for Exhibit 6 to be given to you now. This is a January 11th, 2022 piece of correspondence from you to somebody named Mike Tinnell, Tinnel.
Yes, sir.
Would you please read it aloud? Your message.
My message? Hey man, I'm playing with fire as it is. Last thing I need is to wind up in court later and his attorneys try to use my being in that group as an attempt to associate me with bad actors after your video. Because he's a LeBron James ass bitch who will 100% flop for the foul like that. He's already crying in Facebook comments. I'm just covering my ass as I poke the bear douche publicly. Have to keep my nose as clean as possible, and that video just put me in a tricky spot. One thing to go after the man and the toys, but family stuff isn't a good look. Sorry.
So, others were posting in that group. One of the members posted a video where he talked about Mr. Vala's family, right?
Not to my knowledge, no.
But you were acknowledging that that had occurred.
Incorrect.
Well, why are you saying it's another thing to talk about his family if that didn't happen?
Because it didn't happen in that Facebook group.
Okay, but it happened elsewhere then?
Yes.
Okay.
And as you can see in my response, I was not okay with it, and I left the group that it was eventually shut down.
Okay, fair enough. But read me the first part of the message. Just the first sentence, please.
Hey man,
The rest of that sentence, please.
I'm playing with fire as it is.
Okay. So you already at that point acknowledged that you were doing something that was quote unquote playing with fire unquote with respect to Mr. Vala, correct?
I did, yes.
Okay. And just to clarify, that Mike Tinnell post of the video, that happened in his tank, right? You remember?
I don't remember where the video was posted. Besides YouTube.
So, what did you mean by playing with fire? What were you doing that was playing with fire?
I was publicly pushing back against a public individual that tended to be pretty aggressive in how he pushed back.
I need far more specifics than that as to what you were doing that you characterized as, quote, playing with fire, unquote.
I
What
was
you were doing.
publicly discussing some of the negative aspects of Bobby Vala and the Valaverse toy line. I had made memes mocking some of the things going on around the toy line. As far as other things that might have been included in that, I would have to write out a timeline to know exactly what I was referencing.
And you didn't want to be associated with, quote, bad actors, unquote, right?
Correct.
But you started this negativity, right?
No, sir.
Well, it's the Legions of Kennyverse, isn't it?
Not that group that we're talking about right now.
Well, somebody named it in your honor, right?
I'm going to speak clearly, for the record, that Mike Tinnell ran a different Facebook group, and I was in that. It's the third group that I mentioned 5 minutes ago that I couldn't find the name of. And then at some point he deleted it after I left it. I'm not referring to the Legions of Kennyverse group when I say that about being in that group. I'm talking about a group that Mike Tennell made on Facebook that was not called Legions of Kennyverse.
I see what you're saying now. So your contention is that the references are to posts happening outside of this particular group, right?
I am talking about the membership to a third Facebook group that's not called Legions of Valaverse, that's not called Legions of Kennyverse, that Mike Tennell started. His YouTube name is Angry Mike. That he started, that I left after he made inappropriate comments about Bobby Vala's family.
Okay. I think, does that mean that the answer to my question was yes?
What was the question?
Objection.
We're going to read it back.
Mischaracterization.
I see what you're saying now. So your contention is that the references are to posts happening outside of this particular group, right?
And by this particular group, you mean the
Outside of
Legions of
Legions of
Kennyverse group?
Kennyverse.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. When you referred to, sorry about that. When you referred to just wanting to, quote, cover your ass, unquote, when you left the group, you were referring to that other group, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, it's catching on your bag, man.
No, thank you.
I don't want to touch your stuff.
That's all right.
All right, cool.
Thank you. Now, you didn't tell Mike to take his video down, right?
Correct.
And you didn't condemn it publicly in the group named after you.
I don't know. I don't even know if it was posted in that group. And it wasn't named after me.
Well, the Kennyverse is a reference to you.
Vaguely, yes.
Are there any other Kennys involved here?
No. But saying it's named after me is a mischaracterization. It's named after a meme.
The only Kenny they're referring to is you.
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. Now, did you feel you had any responsibility about all the negativity directed toward Bobby Vala?
No, sir.
Well, you didn't condemn Mike's video. You didn't ask him to take it down publicly, right?
I might have. I'm pretty sure I condemned it in the his tank thread.
Well, here you messaged Mike privately, right?
Yes.
And you did that to, quote unquote, cover your ass, right?
I didn't message him to cover my ass, no.
Now, before this, you sold T-shirts referencing plaintiffs, right?
Yes.
And you continued, as you put it, poking the bear with Mr. Vala, right?
That's not quite what I said.
Well, poking what then?
I was poking the bear douche.
Ah, fair enough. You continued poking the bear douche, so to speak, which is what you thought of Mr. Vala, right?
I was a name he gave himself.
Right. You continued poking at him, right?
Yes.
And in fact, you consulted an attorney specifically because you wanted to continue to, quote, kick the hornet's nest, unquote. You remember that?
I consulted an attorney because I got a cease and desist from your client.
All right, let's take a look at August 30th, 2021. This is your communication to someone named Colton, C-O-L-T-O-N, Exhibit 7. You recall this correspondence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were willing, you were, quote, willing to jump off the cliff to watch, unquote, Mr. Vala, quote, go down with you, unquote, right?
Where's that at?
I think it should be right in that exhibit.
Am I looking at the wrong one?
One
This is, we got the hornet nest quote, but
Last one on the page. 8:30.
Yeah, it's the very bottom of the page.
Oh, sorry about that.
And just let me give, it's page 6 of the exhibit, and the Bates number is KK 724.
yes, sir. I
Okay.
said that.
And you were willing to jump off the cliff to watch Mr. Vala go down with you, right?
That's what I said.
And that expressed your sincere belief, right? You weren't lying when you said that, right?
I wouldn't say I was lying.
Okay.
I would say talking shit in private with my friends.
About Mr. Vala, right?
I mean, sure, yes.
Okay. And you also, to continue to poke at Mr. Vala, you also made T-shirts reading, quote, legal action force, unquote, and, quote, Kennyverse, unquote, right?
No, sir.
Well, I'm going to show you Exhibit 8, and this is September 9th, 2021, correspondence from you to someone named Bisping, B-I-S-P-I-N-G.
Yes, sir.
And so, did you make the T-shirt reading legal action force or have it made?
No, sir.
Who did?
Ryan Melzer?
Okay. Is that a friend of yours?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what about the making of the T-shirt Kennyverse?
T-Public made the shirt, but I posted the image to T-Public.
If you look in the middle of Plaintiffs Exhibit 8, first page, Bates numbered KK 944. Tell me if I read this correctly. Ha ha ha. Heck yeah, you did. I can, it looks like that's supposed to be reactivate, even though there's a typo.
Yes, sir.
I can reactivate them whenever. I'm just doing it on the sly. Lawyers said it was probably the only thing he actually had a case on, despite it being low risk. You see that?
Yes, sir.
Now this is about you reactivating the T-shirts, right?
Reactivating the Kennyverse shirts, yes.
Not legal action force?
Correct.
Okay. But you were working with this other individual on the whole legal action force concept, right?
I mean, we made the jokes back and forth about it, but I didn't make the shirts.
You didn't discourage him from doing it, right?
Correct.
You egged him on in doing it, right? Fair to say?
Sure.
Okay. And you personally sold those shirts, didn't you? Or
Which
tried?
shirts?
Legal Action Force?
No, sir.
Well, you tried to.
I did.
Yeah. And you
Where?
also... Huh?
Where?
I'm asking you.
Oh. I mean, I did not try to sell the Legal Action Force shirts.
You did sell the Kennyverse shirts, right?
Through a third-party vendor, yes.
How much money do you think you wind up making off of selling shirts?
Without guessing and trying to estimate, I believe it was, I think it was like $50 or $60, because then I donated that to an anti-bullying charity, and then there were some other gifts matched, and I remembered it being like considerably more than I had made.
Now, you continued to promote these shirts even when your lawyer urged you not to, right?
I would say no.
Well, you publicly talked about your lawyer urging you not to.
Privately talked about my lawyer urging me not to.
Well, all right. Now we're going to have to work on some definitions. When I say publicly in this context, I mean it's not you and your lawyer only talking about it. You were telling at least one third party about it, right?
Yes.
About your lawyer's advice, right?
My lawyer's advice is not in that message. It was
Lawyer
just
said it was probably the only thing he actually had a case on, despite it being low risk.
it wasn't about his advice on what to do. It was just one portion of his opinion on the cease and desist.
Okay. I think we're now quibbling over the meaning of the word advice. When I'm using it, I'm not just using the word advice in the sense of telling you what to do or telling you what not to do, but in the sense of telling you that you're embracing risk by doing it.
I still have an issue with it not being the full breadth of his advice. So, I mentioned a portion of his advice, but that was not the full legal counsel that I had on the matter.
Your lawyer told you that your doing this was probably, quote, at this point, quote, the only thing he, meaning Vala, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually had a case on, right?
When you say it, I see. Yeah, I did say those words, yes, and that's what I said to Locke.
Yeah, and you weren't lying about that. That was true, right?
It's incomplete.
But it was true, correct?
I would say that the term "it" is incomplete and vague, so I struggle to, in the context that you're asking questions, I would say that it's not true.
Well, in the context, in these communications, what did you believe it was referring to?
I don't know if that's covered by prior attorney-client privilege or not, but it is referring to a thing I talked to my attorney about.
What were you referring to in the context of these communications as to your lawyer having said that something you did was probably the only thing that Vala had a case on? I'm not asking you for details of conversations with your lawyer. I'm asking what you meant when you said it here in the context of these communications.
And I'm saying that it is a term that, I can only explain if I explain the things that my attorney said to me. I don't know, again, I don't know the ins and outs of what I'm supposed to talk about from a lawyer advice perspective, but there are two different statements there that read as one because I wrote them poorly, but that's fine.
I think we're losing the thread here.
Probably.
So there's a conversation going on here. and you have decided to tell a third party to disclose something a lawyer told you, okay? And there's a context to the conversation. I'm asking you to use some common sense and your recollection and look at the context of the conversation and tell us what you were referring to as to the it in your disclosure to a third party.
I can reactivate them whenever. I'm just doing it on the sly. Was a reference to reactivating the shirts on the website. The lawyer's it was not about reactivating the shirts on the website.
Okay, so what was this, what were you saying? First of all, that sentence is coming right after reactivation
Understood.
with respect to the shirts, right?
Understood.
And so in normal human English, the antecedent of a pronoun like it is before it. So that, because this is how we write, and this is how we speak. Now, I'm trying to understand from the context of this, are you now claiming under oath in this deposition that it was referring to something else that you were doing other than reactivating the t-shirts? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So, why would you do that? Why would you suddenly make a reference to an it that isn't referring to the description that occurred right before it?
Because it's a quick, private text message that was shot off at random. It wasn't a dissertation or a legal document or a you know, a capstone project. I was just shooting off at the hip.
But you were writing to be understood by your friend, right?
I mean, kind of. It was, you know, chat threads are often just casual conversations, just like you would have sitting next to somebody. And I spoke poorly, and you know, like we do sometimes.
Can we at least agree that the reference to the lawyer, where the lawyer said it was probably the only thing Vala actually had a case on, that it, the only thing preceding it, is a reference to reactivating these t-shirts?
It does read that way, yes.
Right. So it would be reasonable for someone to read that and infer that a lawyer is telling you that that is what there might be some risk on, right?
Sure, you could read it that way.
It would be reasonable to do so, right?
I can't say what reasonable minds would do.
All right, now, excuse me. Now, you knew that there was a legal risk to you, that there was a danger, but you still continued to poke at Mr. Vala, right? Against all caution?
I would disagree with that assessment.
A lawyer cautioned you about something, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But it was not about speaking out against Mr. Vala.
What was it then?
I'm going to tell you what I talked to my attorney about. Isn't
I'm
that a
asking
thing?
what the it is referring to, which you disclosed to a third party.
I mean, I literally didn't. It's just the word it. And it's not referenced.
Are you refusing to answer the question? What it means?
I'm at.
Please invoke the attorney-client privilege on what it means.
Okay, so are you refusing based on that?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Okay. Now, are you still selling or distributing the Kennyverse t-shirts in any way?
No, sir.
What about the Legal Action Force? Nothing to do with that?
No, sir.
Now, by any definition, beyond the YouTube videos, the 2 YouTube videos at issue in this case, you have spent some time talking shit about Bobby Vala privately, right? To people? Yes?
Sometime, yes.
Okay. So let's look at...
I would say with, not to. But
Okay. Let's look at Exhibit 40. KK 978 is the Bates number. And this is correspondence from you to somebody named, I don't know how to pronounce it, Irizarry?
Irizarry.
Irizarry. Irizarry. Can you tell me what this is and when it was sent?
This is a message from me to Mike Irizarry on October 12th of 2021 at 2:16:37 p.m.
Okay. And why don't you read it aloud? Read the message aloud.
I said, I think he might be a sociopath. He's so fake and presents as so fun, but deep down he's an ego-driven man-baby. We got a taste for it in public, and he hates that it's getting so spread around. He's lost a lot of folks in the last couple months. 2 to 3 of his mods, Fixer bailed on him and totally changed the theme of their show from Action Force. He's just so toxic.
Okay. You described Mr. Vala as a sociopath, right?
I said, I think he might be.
Okay. You call him an ego-driven man-baby, right?
Yes.
Okay. And again, you felt, at this point, you certainly felt extreme dislike for Mr. Vala, right?
Dislike's a strong word. I didn't like him, but I
Well-
didn't characterize it as a dislike.
You wouldn't characterize anybody who might be a sociopath or an ego-driven man-baby or both as somebody that you dislike?
I think I viewed, at this point in time, I was viewing him more of as a force of nature in our community.
Okay. Reminding you that you're under oath.
Yes, sir.
So your sworn testimony that you did not dislike Bobby Vala at the time you wrote these statements.
I don't feel like I don't think I had actively disliked him at this point.
I didn't use the word actively dislike. I said, would you at least concede that you disliked him at the time you wrote these messages?
That's just not how I remember feeling at the time.
Well, earlier in this deposition, you conceded that you disliked him.
I think I said that I didn't like him, I think is what we talked about. Like I said, there was more of a middle ground.
Well, these are hardly neutral terms you're using to
Sure.
describe it. Fair?
Is fair?
Yeah. And so, I mean, come on, you hated the guy.
No, did not hate the guy. In fact, we can pull up some clips in my videos. I'm pretty sure I say as much publicly, I think repeatedly even.
You felt some ill will toward him, yes?
What do you mean by ill will?
Well, what does it mean to you?
I could be wrong, but I feel like ill will generally refers to like actively wanting bad things to happen to people.
Now, the other thing you just said is you didn't actively dislike him at this point. This is, what's the date of this message again?
That's what I said just now. Oh, at this point, this message.
This was 2021, right? This is
10/12/2021, yes,
yeah,
sir.
Yeah. No,
the
actually,
next.
that's
It's the one we just handed over. 42, I'm sorry. That's the one that we're just about to hand over. So, I'm sorry.
Give me the date again. of
The
sociopath.
green tag is at 10/12/2021.
I'm talking about the sociopath, ego-driven man baby, right?
Correct. That was
Okay.
the quote with the
So
green tag.
you said you did not actively dislike him at this point. At some point you did, right? At some point you actively disliked the guy, right?
Yeah, I think that's. Give me just a second. Sorry.
Here's what I'm getting at. So,
Sorry.
by the time you posted your first YouTube video, September 20th, 2023, you actively disliked Bobby Vala at that point. Yes? And there's no shame in it if it's true. Is
No,
it
I
true?
know. Again, not liking and disliking hold different levels for me, and I think I was still in a not liking, not a
Not disliking.
correct.
Okay, despite all the things you were saying about him on September 20th, 2023, you still didn't dislike a guy you were saying those things about. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
Let's take a look at Exhibit 41, which is Bates number KK 1638. This is a message from you to someone named Roussel, Roussel. Tell me when this was sent.
This is 6/23/2022 at 10:53 a.m.
Okay. And you can look at the tagged portion there.
Yes, sir.
And tell me what this message is.
It says, "It's almost unbelievable, honestly. He's so committed to being a narcissistic asshole."
Okay. So, by this point, surely you disliked Mr. Vala, right?
I'll refer to my previous comments.
I mean, who's neutral on a quote, narcissistic asshole, unquote?
It was a observation of the behavior of a public figure, like,
Okay. So using words like narcissistic asshole, you're just like this kind of anthropologist observing neutrally and taking notes?
I'm not an anthropologist, no.
Or sociologist?
I'm not a
observing-
sociologist either.
Okay. You're just this field researcher of narcissistic assholes?
I'm not a field researcher either, no.
Okay, so when you describe Bobby Vala as a narcissistic asshole, you're expressing dislike for him, right?
I said he's so committed to being a narcissistic asshole, but if you see there in front of it, it's in regards to Sean talking about how he'd walked away from the line after seeing how Bobby treated people, and it's an observation of his interactions with people in the public.
Okay. Mr. Koepnick, I'm not asking you questions about context or why you dislike him or what was going on or what you thought he was doing. I'm not asking you those questions. I'm just trying to elicit a fact from you.
Now you're
And-
trying to get me to change my answer.
No, I'm trying to understand your answer. You have described a person as a narcissistic asshole, and yet you still can't commit yourself to acknowledging that you disliked him. Is that right?
Like I said, I didn't like him, but I did not actively dislike him at the time.
You were just like kind of neutral and above it all, right?
I wouldn't say neutral.
Okay. So, if you weren't neutral, then you had negative feelings toward him, correct?
Sure.
You didn't exactly wish him well, right?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, what does it mean to you?
Wishing somebody well generally means depending on the context, it could be anything from health and happiness or success or, I just trying to figure out which version of it you're asking me about.
let's move on. Now, I'm going to show you Exhibit 12. And this is Bates number KK262. Can you tell me what this is and when it was sent? This is a message from you to a group, right?
This is a Facebook group chat between me and 3 other individuals. I assume we're looking at the green tag.
Yep.
The green tag is a message from Aaron Dietrich to me and 2 other people.
Okay. But the exchange is between you and that group, right?
Me and 3 other people, yes.
Okay, why don't you name all the people, please?
Brian Kaufman, Kauffman, Aaron Dietrich, and Eric Aranya.
Spell Aranya.
A-R-A-N with a little squiggly, an A.
And the Eric is with a K or a C?
Oh, it's with a K. Thank you.
All right. Now, sent when again?
6/19/2022.
Can you read the message from Aaron Dietrich out loud, please?
I'm hoping to get some footage of Bobby punching Kenny.
Okay. Now, in this conversation, you were hoping Mr. Vala would punch you so you could, quote, LeBron the shit out of that punch, unquote, and that you'd, quote, been practicing into a pool for weeks, unquote, right?
No, sir. I'm not disputing the quote you put. I'm answering your question.
Read the question back, please.
Now, in this conversation, you were hoping Mr. Vala would punch you so you could, quote, LeBron the shit out of that punch, unquote, and that you'd, quote, been practicing into a pool for weeks, unquote, right?
Let me just have you read the quote into the record, please. This is a quote from you, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
It's going to look great as a repeating GIF because I'm going to LeBron James the shit. Sorry, because I'm going to LeBron the shit out of that punch. I've been practicing into a pool for weeks.
And that's the end of the quote, right?
Yes, sir.
And Aaron Dietrich loved it, and Eric Aranya did a little laughing emoji at it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you were expressing that in response to the comment from Aaron Dietrich saying, I'm hoping to get some footage of Bobby punching Kenny, you were responding that it would look great as a repeating GIF, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you would LeBron the shit out of that punch, you've been practicing into a pool for weeks, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you're telling them, I'm not saying this is true, right? So don't take it that way. But you're expressing to them that you would LeBron the shit out of that punch, meaning take a dive, basically, right? That's what that means.
It means you would fall a little harder than you probably have to.
Right. Right. Adding a little drama into the situation unnecessarily, right? Exaggerating, correct? That's what it means.
I guess exaggerating could work.
Okay. And you told them, and again, I'm not saying that this was true, you told them that you'd been practicing into a pool for weeks, right?
I did joke that I'd been practicing into a pool for weeks, yes.
Fair enough. And so, I'm just trying to get at, in this exchange where you and your friends are mocking your relationship with Mr. Vala, I mean, is that a fair characterization of it? I mean, you're poking fun at...
We're making light of a situation where people were afraid of potential violence, yes. We're making light of it to kind of make it not hit as hard.
So let me just try to sum up some of what we've gone over. Okay. There are years of messages about Mr. Vala that you're involved in, right?
Sure.
Yeah. There's a meme of him hanging in your home, right? Or sitting on a shelf, right?
Yes, sir.
Groups, including one named after you, dedicated to bashing Mr. Vala that you participated in, right?
Don't know that I agree 100% with that, so I'll say no.
What part?
I don't know that I participated in multiple groups where I don't know that I ever participated in Mike's group, and I don't know the intent of that group or what was happening in it. And the
Okay.
group's not named after me.
Okay, I think that's a fair point. I'm not saying every single group you ever participated in was dedicated to bashing Mr. Vala, but so far we've talked about two, right? One has the Legions of Kennyverse, one is the His Tank Forum.
Oh, that's
right?
sorry, I thought you meant Facebook groups. That's a forum, not a, yeah.
Okay.
And that, again, I would contest that too. His Tank was not, is not a forum or a group centered around bashing Bobby Vala. It was a thread discussing his toy line.
Fair, but I'm saying there was a group thread just on that.
Just
with
on
a
his
lot
toy
of
line.
Vala bashing, right? That you participated in? Fair?
A lot of discussion around his toy line, yes.
Right. You participated in a lot of negative commentary about Mr. Vala and his toy line in His Tank, right?
That would be fair, yes.
Okay. So fair to say, given all of this Bobby Vala related activity, that up through the point in which you posted the YouTube videos, you had a lot of Bobby Vala on your mind. Fair?
No.
Well,
I mean, define a lot.
you spent a lot of time devoted to criticizing him. You sure did, right?
I disagree with a lot, and I disagree with devoted.
You think the reams and reams of paper, of messages that involve you talking about Mr. Vala are somehow not a lot?
It takes like 5 to 10 seconds to write a text message. Like, again, you might feel like it's a lot. I don't necessarily.
In fact, you were obsessed with Mr. Vala, weren't you, before you posted those YouTube videos?
No, sir.
Now, even after all the negative communications with people about Mr. Vala that you participated in, you decided that wasn't enough and you needed to make those YouTube videos, right?
No, sir.
All right. Let's take a 5-minute break and we will resume.
The time is approximately 3:41 p.m. and we're going off the record. The time is approximately 3:51 p.m. The camera is rolling and you're back on the record.
Okay, so let's just cover one little thing from the last discussion we just had. That His Tank thread that was about Bobby Vala and Valaverse, the moderators actually ultimately removed it, you understood, because it was considered too toxic, right?
I'm not sure.
You know they removed it, right?
I do know they removed it.
And you know the moderators, right?
I don't know the moderators, no.
Okay, well, they explained they removed it because it was too toxic, words to that effect, right?
I'm not for sure.
All right. Now, I want to go through the claims in your videos. I told you we'd go back over some of those. I'm going to try to do this quickly. You did nothing, you did no work to verify the claim that plaintiff's action force line is, quote, stolen IP, unquote, correct?
We're going to argue over the context of what I said again.
All right, let's play Exhibit 2, September 20th, 2023 video at 8 minutes and 2 seconds in. the video was about Bobby Vala and the Valaverse Action Force line, correct? That's the general subject matter,
The
right?
video was about an incident that happened at Joe Fest.
Well, you may have discussed that.
It's in the title.
Go ahead.
It has to be really weird for Hasbro employees to see him walking around in shirts parroting their stolen IP. But anyways,
Okay. You were referring to stolen IP in reference to plaintiffs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you didn't do anything in advance of saying that to verify the accuracy of the reference to stolen IP, correct? Yes or no?
Incorrect.
Okay. So you did do work to verify that, right? That's what you're claiming?
I mean,
I'm talking in advance of making the statement. sir.
understand. It was a widely discussed conversation in the community and by your client over the years. So, I mean, I didn't go to the library and like pull, pull documents and encyclopedias. No.
Okay. Please do not rewrite my question in your response.
Yes, sir.
My question, very simply, yes or no. You acknowledge you did no work to verify the accuracy of the word stolen IP before you published this video on YouTube, correct?
What do you mean by work?
Well, what does work mean to you?
You're the one asking me what I'm doing.
Effort, labor on your part to verify the accuracy of the claims. I can follow up by asking you what you did if your answer is yes. But if your answer is no, then let's have it be no and let's move on.
I did not do work, no.
Thank you. You made no effort to verify the truth of the words stolen IP personally, correct?
Correct.
You exerted no labor to verify the accuracy of the words stolen IP, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And yet, well, hold on. You engaged in no investigation personally to investigate the truth of the words stolen IP, correct?
Correct.
Nor did you hire an investigator before you published. Is there something amusing?
Yes.
Before you published the September 20th, 2023 video referring to stolen IP, you did not hire an outside investigator to investigate the truth of that claim, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Take a look at your Exhibit 1, Response to Request for Admissions, number 8. There, at that time, long before this deposition, you denied that you failed to investigate the truth of your claim. Isn't that right?
It would appear so.
All right. That answer on your part was inaccurate based on your sworn testimony today, correct?
given the advice that I was given at the time, yes.
So now you're going to blame your lawyer again? Yes?
The advice that I was given to answer that is what, so yes.
And what exactly did he tell you?
I mean, the objects to the term investigate.
Those are objections. I'm asking about your answer. I'm not asking about the objections, which are they're not your testimony, the objection. Okay?
Whether or
That's
not.
the lawyer. That's the lawyer giving an objection.
Understood.
Go ahead.
Whether or not it's appropriate to discuss our actual conversation around filing it or not. Investigate. It didn't need investigated in the same way that, like, if I tell you the Earth's round, you don't need to hire an expert to find out. It's widely known in the community. I answered the what's this called again? Sorry. The request for admissions. I answered those in concert with my representation at the time, and that's how I answered them. So
I'm going to read verbatim into the record from page 3 of Exhibit 1, your responses to requests for admissions. This is what the statement was that you had to either admit or deny. Before you made the claim about stolen IP referred to in number 5 above, you failed to investigate whether the claim you made was true or false. Did I read that correctly?
yes, sir.
And your response after the objections was deny, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you at this moment disavowing all personal responsibility for that answer and blaming your lawyer instead?
I don't know about disavowing responsibility. Just
Do you accept responsibility for your answer?
with the counsel that I had at the time, yes.
Well, so again, you're going to shift responsibility to your lawyer.
In the context that it was explained, the question was explained to me when I answered it. Yes.
Now, you understand that your prior lawyer, neither your prior lawyer nor your current lawyer, nor any lawyer, that includes me, none of us have any personal knowledge of what you did or didn't do before you made, you posted your YouTube videos about Mr. Vala and Valaverse. You understand that, right?
I do, yes.
Right. You're the one with the facts, right?
Yes, sir.
You're the one with the facts about what you did to vet your statements before you publish them to the world, right?
Yes, sir.
You're the one with access to your motivations at the time, right?
Yes.
So the lawyer, whether it's your current one or the previous one, can't really tell you what a truthful response is to that question, can they?
No. But they can explain the legal context of the question when I'm answering it, and if I'm reading the objection correctly, I think we were denying it based on the term investigate.
Do you really not understand, as a grown man, what the meaning of the word investigate is?
Objection.
Do you understand what the word investigate means?
I do.
And you understood it when you responded to the request for admissions, didn't you?
It was objected. And
Mr. Koepnick, forget the objections. Okay? Those are legal things.
Understood.
That's not your answer.
Understood.
Okay? I want to understand something from you. As you testify here under oath, I would like to know when you read the words, "Before you made the claim about stolen IP, quote unquote, referred to in number 5 above, you failed to investigate whether the claim you made was true or false." Did you comprehend the question at the time when you read
Yes.
it? You comprehended the word investigate at the time because you know the meaning of the word, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I didn't fail to investigate because the truth or falseness of the claim didn't need further investigation, in the same way you don't investigate if the sun is the center of the solar system. Like, it was a known quantity in the community. It wasn't something that needed investigating, so I did not fail to investigate it.
You understand that before Galileo, people didn't even understand that the sun was at the center of the solar system, right?
Yes, sir.
There was another belief system, right?
Yes, sir.
And actually it took scientific theory and investigation to ultimately determine that that was true, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it actually is a verifiable fact, correct? It's not an opinion. It's a verifiable fact about whether the sun is at the solar system,
Yes,
right?
that is.
Okay. Similarly, whether Bobby Vala or Valaverse's IP is stolen is a verifiable fact or non-fact, correct?
No.
Well, so you're saying that one can just have an opinion about whether a theft of intellectual property occurred. That's your contention?
I'm not an IP lawyer or an IP judge.
I didn't
It's
ask
not
you to
up to
be.
me to determine if it is. If it feels like it is to me, that's my opinion.
So you can make a statement about, your contention is you can make a statement about whether IP is stolen based on a feeling, right? That's your contention?
My contention is a feeling that's informed by years of conversations and industry knowledge.
Conversations with whom? It sounds like you're referring to an investigation.
No, public comments made by public individuals.
What individuals?
Robert Vala.
Robert Vala has never said, "I stole my IP," correct?
As far as
Yes
I know.
or no?
As far as I know, no.
All right, so we can agree that your response to request for admission number 8 is incorrect, right?
I disagree. I did not fail to investigate because it didn't need investigated.
You previously admitted in response to questions about whether you investigated, you said you didn't, right?
Because I didn't investigate it. Didn't need investigated.
Yeah. Okay. Now, to reiterate, you understood at the time you filled out these requests for admissions
Asked and answered.
how important it was that you get every single answer to this to be factually accurate, correct?
Correct.
Now, considering that you, just to put it succinctly, you're a toy guy, you know, you run operations for one of the biggest toy stores in the Midwest, you're a longtime toy collector with a large collection. If you wanted to investigate if a toy was based on stolen IP or not, you'd have the ability to start that process, right?
If it needed done, yes.
Yeah. And you'd have the ability, for example, if you thought you yourself were not capable of doing that, to hire an outside investigator too, right?
Potentially.
You'd have the ability to hire a lawyer if you needed to, right?
If it needed done, yes.
Yeah, you didn't hire a private investigator, right?
Correct.
You didn't hire a lawyer, right?
Correct.
Now, in fact, before you claimed on YouTube, or made the claim on YouTube about stolen IP, before that, you already knew that Hasbro had long since abandoned the Action Force trademark, correct?
That was my understanding, yes.
You're not just a toy guy, you're a G.I. Joe guy and a collector, right?
Sure, yes.
And you know that there was an Action Force line in the 1980s, right?
Yes, sir.
And you knew before you published the post on YouTube referring to stolen IP, you knew that Hasbro had let that trademark expire, right?
Yes, sir.
And did you ever investigate whether Hasbro contested that acquisition?
I did not, because it had already been discussed publicly.
So you didn't.
Because
Now-
I didn't need to.
Had they contested the acquisition?
My understanding was that they had not.
Right. And in fact, even during the course of this litigation, recognizing that that's an affidavit created after your publication, but we produced you in this litigation an affidavit from Michael Kelly, the former vice president of global publishing at Hasbro, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And you reviewed that, right?
Yes, sir.
It's Exhibit 14. Let's look at it together. Please read through it again for me, and then read the last two paragraphs aloud, please.
You said the last two paragraphs?
Yeah.
After investigation, I was informed by the team that Hasbro had allowed the trademark to lapse. Valaverse, Inc. had taken over the mark, and that no further action on Hasbro's part was possible. Knowing from experience how vigorously Hasbro defends its trademarks, I took this to mean that Valaverse, Inc. had been successful in legally obtaining the Action Force trademark and brand and was operating in a manner consistent with the U.S. Code.
So this is the person who is in charge of defending Hasbro's trademark, saying that Mr. Vala and Valaverse LLC did everything, quote, consistent with the U.S. Code, correct?
I object to the characterization of Michael J. Kelly as the individual charged with defending the intellectual property, but go ahead.
I can't say for sure.
You understood from this affidavit that this is a person who has knowledge about lawful acquisition of the trademarks, right?
Lawful acquisition of trademarks, yes.
Right. And that he was explaining that Mr. Vala and Valaverse LLC did everything consistent with the U.S. Code. You understood that, correct?
I do read that, yes.
All
I
right.
understand it, yes.
Yes or no? Does that sound like theft to you?
No.
It does not, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Do you accept, as you sit here today, do you accept that Action Force is not stolen IP, yes or no?
No.
You do not accept it.
No.
I want to make sure I understand your answer. Are you saying you do not accept it?
Correct.
So, despite you seeing this affidavit testimony, despite you acknowledging that you knew the trademark had lapsed and that Bobby Vala had acquired it, you still do not accept that Action Force is not stolen IP. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you've been very public about that fact. So I'm going to show you a Reddit post from 2020. This is Exhibit 16. You can see the tagged comment. Here you, under this Ken Diesel name, right?
Yes, sir.
You actually wrote, this is preceding your YouTube videos.
Yes, sir.
You wrote that Hasbro, quote, let the trademark lapse, I think, unquote, right?
Yes, sir.
Does that sound like theft of IP?
We're talking about trademarks there. So no.
A few years later, you stated, and this is now Exhibit 28, and it's Bates stamped Histank 1631. You stated that plaintiff's products are derived from dead G.I. Joe trademarks. Right? You see it?
I was reading, sorry. Yes,
Sure.
sir.
Okay. Does that sound like theft of IP to you?
Kind of, yes.
How? If they're from dead trademarks.
Well, the full quote was, launched their own Kickstarter for a knockoff 6-inch military line dressed up in the skin suit of dead G.I. Joe trademarks to get people excited. And IP takes more than just trademarks.
I'm going to ask you the question again. Does lawfully acquiring dead G.I. Joe trademarks sound like theft of IP to you? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. And if a lawyer, or former lawyer for Hasbro, who's in a position to know, is saying that the trademarks lapsed and that Valaverse acquired them lawfully, you're in no position to argue with that, correct?
Objection. There's no former lawyer.
Former official.
I can, again, appeal to authority fallacy. I'll argue that.
Okay. You're, again, just sort of rewriting the question. I'm simply asking you, you're in no position to dispute that, correct?
Incorrect.
You're in a better position than somebody who worked for Hasbro, protecting its IP. You're in a better position than that person
No,
to
sir.
determine whether trademark was stolen or not, right?
No, sir. That's not what I said.
You are in no position to dispute that Valaverse stole Hasbro's trademark, correct?
Incorrect.
And as a consequence of your certainty that you're in a position to dispute something, you make no apologies for any claims about stolen trademarks, right?
What do you mean?
Did you understand the question or not?
I did not.
Can you restate the question?
And as a consequence of your certainty that you are in a position to dispute something, you make no apologies for any claims about stolen trademarks, right?
Go ahead.
What do you mean? Like,
All right, let's move on. During discovery, plaintiffs produced to you the trademarks that they lawfully acquired, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, let's look at Exhibit 13. Those are the trademark certificates. But it sounds like you, and we discussed this earlier based on the public statement that you made, before you accused plaintiffs of having stolen IP, you accepted that Valaverse lawfully owns the trademark, right?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Do you accept the validity of the trademark certificates that Valaverse acquired?
Yes, sir.
Now, you knew at the time that you posted the YouTube videos that stealing intellectual property can be a crime, right?
Not explicitly.
Well, you understood that it was very wrong, right?
Yes.
And when you said stolen IP in your video, wouldn't you expect that your viewers would take you, a toy dealer and collector, at your word?
In that it was a joke, yes.
There's no sad trombone sound that happens when you use the word stolen IP, right?
Sure.
There's no like comical music in the background, right?
There are quick cuts. There's 3 jokes in a row about that follow a comment. It's like, here's the thing, part of the story, and then joke, joke, joke. And they got like quick cuts, and then I go back to the story.
Now, could you answer my question?
Sorry.
There's no comical music in the background, or do you want me to go back?
That's the one.
Okay.
Oh, correct. There's no comical music in the background.
There's no kind of winky face on your part, right?
I did not wink in the video, no.
There's no ha 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 or laughter on your part, right?
I don't recall.
You didn't say just kidding, right?
Correct.
You didn't say just joking,
Correct.
or even words to that effect, right?
Correct.
You'd agree your viewers aren't mind readers, right?
As far as I know,
You're not aware of any that are.
not.
They could simply listen to what you're saying and believe an accusation about stolen IP, correct?
Correct.
In fact, you're continuing to make that factual allegation today, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And you're not saying that jokingly, right? So I don't misunderstand your deposition testimony?
Correct.
So it was a joke at the time, but it's not a joke now, right? Your accusation?
Correct.
Now, watching your video, a reasonable viewer could start doubting whether plaintiffs own the intellectual property for action force, right?
Potentially?
Be reasonable for them to do so based on your statement, right?
No.
Oh, it would be unreasonable.
Probably.
Because it should be so obvious to any reader that you're just joking, right?
Well, I would hope they would be watching the video, not reading the transcript, but it would be harder for a reader to discern that.
It's your contention that the video then, as opposed to the transcript, makes it really obvious that you're just joking, right?
Well, yes.
So Bobby Vala and Valaverse's umbrage over your statement is just a big misunderstanding about what you were doing, right?
I can't attest to that.
Well, you've been sued for defamation, you know that, right?
I do, yes.
Yeah. In a complaint that asserts that you made false statements of fact, including the stolen IP claim, right?
Yes, sir.
But they somehow must have misunderstood your intentions, right?
I can't say.
Now, in your experience, is stealing intellectual property a serious concern in the toy collecting community?
Not really.
You know that the plaintiffs here aren't the only ones to have ever acquired an expired trademark in the toy production community, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So like, for example, you're familiar with RoboSkull?
Yes, sir.
RoboSkull was made by a company called Skeletron, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Skeletron, and RoboSkull is Roboskull. We're going to take a look at Exhibit 42, Bates number KK326. This is from you to Ben Conway. The Bates number again is KK326 at the bottom. You see that? Now, Ben Conway is a good buddy of yours, right?
Yes, sir.
He owns Skeletron, right?
As far as I know.
And in this exchange, Ben is hinting to you for the first time that he's acquiring the rights to RoboSkull, right? That's
Yes,
how
sir.
you read it? Okay. And later, he's even sending you updates on his applications for the trademarks, right? That's at KK339.
Oh, I should have seen the blue one. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were telling other people that you were pretty hyped for it, right? Look at KK762. We're going to show you Exhibit 5. Exhibit 5 is in front of you. You found it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Exhibit 5, KK762. You were, quote, so hyped, unquote, for RoboSkull, right?
No, sir.
What did I misunderstand? Correct me.
I said these figures got me so hyped.
Okay, but you were referring to RoboSkull figures.
Well, RoboSkull is the vehicle,
Okay.
so I was talking about the figures they were making.
Okay. What did I misunderstand?
Well, the words "these figures" got me so hyped.
Okay.
So they're action figures that were being made.
I mean, you like it enough that you've even got it on your water bottle today, right?
The vehicle's on my water bottle. Yes, sir.
Okay. Was Ben Conway, your friend, the first guy to make RoboSkull?
No, sir.
That's because he acquired the trademark for RoboSkull after Palitoy, Palitoy, let it lapse, right?
Yes, sir.
And actually, you know, Ben's RoboSkull looks pretty similar to the original one, right?
Relatively.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Exhibit 43. And this demonstrative exhibit just confirms your last answer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, we're clear. Do you think Ben Conway stole intellectual property? Your good friend?
I would have to take into account the entirety of the line to make that decision
Well-
because it's more than just trademarks.
I think we agreed earlier that the most common understanding of the word stole is theft, right? To steal is to,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Understand that's how
Yeah.
you defined it, yes.
Right. So, you've already conceded Ben Conway lawfully acquired the trademark,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, sir.
And that his product Looks pretty similar to the original, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so you'd agree Ben Conway didn't steal intellectual property, to the best of your knowledge, right?
When you say intellectual property, what do you mean?
The trademark?
You're talking about trademark specifically?
Let's start with that.
Okay. He did not steal the trademark.
Yeah. And because he acquired the name, okay, there's no issue with him putting out a product similar to the look of the previous one, right? You're not aware of any issue.
Not for me to decide.
Now, you're making no negative judgment about Ben Conway's conduct, right? Correct?
I haven't.
You're not, correct?
Right now?
Right.
Not at the moment.
Okay. But according to your accusations on YouTube, Mr. Vala and Valaverse were the ones with stolen IP, right?
That is what I said.
Yeah. And they're the ones, quote, ripping people off, unquote, and, quote, gaslighting, unquote, their customers, correct?
That's what people were talking about in the lobby at Joe Fest, yes.
Your words, though, right?
Telling a story about what people were talking about.
You didn't say that in the video.
I literally did.
You didn't quote other people.
We can play the video back. It's mischaracterization.
Sorry. We can do that real quick.
All right. Now, if you lied about Mr. Vala stealing IP, let me withdraw that.